Here's the solution for day 1, problem 1. Question A, rewrite this number into standard form. So let's begin by copying down that scientific notation number. And then we can figure out what it will look like as a standard number. Now the reason I left a little space here is because I'm thinking ahead, what's going to happen when we multiply by 10 to the 7th power? That's going to move the dot 7 spots to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The decimal point ends up here, and all of these spots are going to require placeholder zeros. That will create the number 1, 225. The 225 accounts for 3 of the 7 spots, and so that's going to need 4 placeholder zeros, then the decimal point. Now to make this number easier to identify, we can come 3 positions over and put a comma in, 3 positions over and put a comma in, and now we can see that that's 12,250,000. Question B, we have 10,000 with a decimal point at the very end, and we're asked to write this as scientific notation. In scientific notation, there will be one non-zero number to the left of the decimal point. Right now, there are several numbers to the left of the decimal point. But if we move the decimal point here, then there will be only one number to the left of the decimal point. So 1, and then the decimal point. Now, all of these zeros can be eliminated. That's what saves you time when you write scientific notation. Now, how far did we move that? 1, 2, 3, 4 spots. And so the exponent on the 10 is a 4. And so 1 times 10 to the 4th power is the scientific notation version of 10,000. Now, day 1, problem 2. Solve this equation for the variable a. Let's figure out what a has to be equal to, and then we'll check our solution. So, question A, negative 2a plus 5 is equal to 4a plus 6. Draw a vertical line down from the equal symbol to keep the sides of the equation straight, and let's solve this for the variable a. The first thing I notice is that there's an a term on the left side of the equals, and there's an a term on the right side of the equals. We don't want to have 2 separate a terms like that. So let's remove this one using subtraction. Subtract 4a and subtract 4a. Negative 2a subtract 4a is negative 6a. The plus 5 can be brought straight down, equals 4a subtract 4a is 0a, or just 0. And then the positive 6 can be brought straight down. Now, here's a new equation that's simpler looking than the original equation, and we're trying to get the letter a alone. Here is the a term. Next to the a term, it says plus 5. Let's remove the plus 5. Minus 5, minus 5, both sides of the equation. The negative 6a can be brought straight down. Positive 5 subtract 5 is 0. And 6 subtract 5 is 1. So we have the equation negative 6 times a equals 1. Let's divide by the negative 6 to get the letter a alone. So divide negative 6, divide negative 6 on both sides of the equation. Negative 6 divided by negative 6 makes 1a. And on the right side of the equation, 1 divided by negative 6 makes the fraction negative 1/6. We could get a decimal for that, but using a fraction is the fastest way to write that answer. 1a is just the same thing as a. And so our answer is a equals negative 1/6. Now, let's check and see if that is the right answer. Take the original problem And in place of this A and this A, let's fill in negative 1/6. So negative 2 parenthesis negative 1/6 plus 5. And is that equal to 4 parenthesis negative 1/6 plus 6? Let's see if this expression is equal to this expression. If they are equal, then we have the right answer. So negative 2 times negative 1/6. Negative times negative is positive, and 2 times 1 is 2/6. And then here's the plus 5. So we want to figure out 2/6 plus 5. That makes a mixed number, 5 and 2/6. Now let's come over here and figure out what this makes. 4 times negative 1/6. Positive times negative is negative, and 4 times 1 is 4/6. And then here's the plus 6. Now, what is negative 4/6 plus the whole number 6? This can be thought of as 6 minus 4/6. Well, 4/6 is not one full unit. 6 minus 1 would be 5. 6 minus 4/6 is going to be 5 and then there'll be a fractional piece left over. So 6 minus 4/6 makes 5 and 2/6. So 5 and 2/6 is equal to 5 and 2/6. This checks, and therefore this is the correct answer for A.